Hey guys, Josh here and
Hey,
Mike.
yes,
Yep.
sir.
And Mike and we're real dead. REELDEAD. And we'll talk about that a little bit, won't we, Mike, about our logo and the spelling here in a minute.
Yep.
We have 6 people in here already, Mike. So
Good.
I think that beats Lovey, right? In 28 seconds in, don't it, Mike? 6 people. So
Josh,
we have
you're
8
number.
people. We have
Josh,
8
you're number.
people in here.
Josh, you're number one in my book, man. That's what I was trying to tell
Man,
you.
I love it when you call me number one. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, Mike is actually in Atlanta. Mike's in Atlanta, and he is actually at the Mad Monster now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you packing up and leaving early in the morning? Or are you still? Is there anything you're doing tomorrow at the con?
Yeah, we're done. Hey, old restless. Yeah, we're done. Today was actually a very light day for us. Anthony Hayes, Scratch and Slash,
Hey, Scratch
Monster
and
B's
Slash.
in here. Yeah, we got the crew here from last night. That's good.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna pack up. I had everything autographed that I brought except for 2 items.
What did you not get autographed?
I had one Michael Myers Funko Pop glow in the dark that I did not get autographed, and then the huge Tyler Mane. And I may kick myself in the ass about this, but the 12-inch Trick or Treat Studios Halloween Rob Zombie that I just got 2 or 3 days ago, and I actually bought it just to come here and get it autographed. I didn't get that autograph. But I'm okay with that for now. I could always get him to autograph it later. But instead of doing that, I had a poster. I had him autograph a poster with some other cast members there. So,
Eventually Head said, "Wow, didn't you bring a lot of stuff, Mike? How many items did you bring to get signed?"
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15.
He brought 15 items, guys, to bring signed. He got everything signed but 2. And you bought an item, right, to sign. So technically you added something on.
I bought something extra today, Josh, that I'll tell you about in a little bit too. I think you know about it, but the chat may have heard me talking about it last night, but I ended up buying it after all today.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So how was day 2? How did you start your day out, man? Like, what did you guys? I mean, did you get up early or what?
Yeah, so today it was running from 11 to 7 or 11 to 6. It was 11 to 6 or 11 to 7. I can't even remember. I think 6 maybe. 11 to 6. And so we got up. They have a nice little restaurant here.
I think so.
That you get burgers and breakfast, and they charged a whopping $26 for the buffet, but me and Anthony got an omelet for like 16, so it was a little bit cheaper. So we ate, came back to the room. I only needed Linda Blair, so I took 2 Funko Pops of hers, the large Funko Pop that has her in the bed, and then the other one is her vomiting. I took those 2 items, and then I took the large 12-inch NECA Michael Myers that Nick Castle signed yesterday. I took it back to PJ Souls today. So we got in line about 10:20, and I'm telling you,
when could you start? Like, when were the RIP people let in?
10:30.
Okay, and then when was Linda Blair supposed to be there to start signing?
Well, I thought 10:30 because that's when all the RIP people were going in there. That's one thing I kind of disappointed about with Mad Monster. I wish they would kind of hold the celebrities accountable for that, because this is what happened. We got an elevator to go down. We stopped on floor 3. We were on 5, and the elevator's already full. And guess who gets on the elevator?
Who?
Ron Perlman. He barely fits on the elevator. He comes in. He's standing right beside me. Doesn't say hello, kiss my ass.
He's taller than you, isn't he, Mike?
No, I mean, no. He's he's getting some age on him. He's kind of humped over a little bit, but no, I was taller than him. I'm bigger than him. I thought he was bigger than me, but I probably got him by a couple inches.
Right. Okay.
So he gets in, doesn't say hello, kiss my ass, smell my farts, or anything, and we go down to the bottom level. By then it's 10:25. And we go to we follow him because he starts walking towards the convention area. We're following him, and then he veers to the right to go eat breakfast.
Yep.
And then we went on in line, and many of these stars were not there at 10:30. When you pay that extra money to get in there to get autographs, they wasn't in there.
I do agree with you on that. I think they should. I don't know what they could do to hold their accountability, but yeah, I agree with you on that. I did feel like the first time Atlanta was held, all the stars were in there. I mean, I got Nev, Skeet, Jamie, and Matthew Lillard before the thing even opened. I got all of they were all there early, the first year.
Shit, they're living on West Coast time, so they should have been on in there anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, that stinks. I mean, Ron Perlman did that in Baltimore when we were there. I mean, we saw him. Literally, it was 10:30. We were getting up to go get in line, or 10:20 to go get in line, I think, and on a Saturday, and the dude literally was just sitting down for breakfast, like right when it was going to open or whatever. So it's like, he did that in Baltimore. I get it. I mean, he probably, I don't know, man. I should message him and see if he answers me on Twitter or something. But I'm gonna be like, I don't think you're a bad guy. I've heard you on podcasts and stuff. You're not a bad guy. I don't know why you go to these conventions and be grumpy. I don't get that, because these fans are there for you. They want to meet you. They love you, and they love your work. Like, why act like that? I just don't get it. He wasn't a jerk to me, but like, I don't know. I don't know why you would neglect the fans like that, Mike. I just don't get it when you're going to them.
When you're paying that RIP price to get there earlier than everybody else to get the autographs or to move up in front of the line, you would think they would. We could beat that dead horse a while, but
right.
So long story short, we got there. We got in line at 10:25, and we were only about 10th or 12th back in line, and still not seeing big crowds. There was not a huge rip crowd there to get in early. It was about the same as yesterday. So as soon as we walk in, I told Anthony, I said, originally I was going to have him go take a picture of everybody's sheet, and I probably should have done that. Their sheet of paper saying what their cost was, because a lot of them wasn't in there. But instead, I didn't know if Linda Blair was going to walk in, and we could, then he's running around. I wouldn't get a picture with her. So I walked up to her table, took a picture of her cost, the pricing she had, and it was very, kind of written on a sheet of paper, and I kept hearing she had all these crazy different prices and all this kind of stuff, but she really didn't. It was $50 for an autograph.
Oh, it wasn't 80? It said 80 on that thing.
You're right. It was 80 for an autograph, 80 for a photo. The combo was 120. So I did drop $200 on Linda Blair for 2 autographs and a selfie. But it said she was going to be there at 11, and this was like 10:30, 10:35 now. So I was like, well, okay, that's only a 25-minute wait. We were third in line, and man, I looked down at my watch. It's 11:30. She's still not there. It's an hour. I'm waiting in line for an hour. I looked down there. Ron Perlman still not came in yet. It's 11:30. Rose McGowan's not came in yet. I don't know if I saw Shawnee there or not. She may have been there. Charlie Cox came in right at 11:30.
Did he have a big line, Mike?
He did initially, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Linda Blair had a bigger line than him. Now, when I think I took some video, and I'll show it, when I put the video out on this, her line, I was third in line, and all the RIP people that wanted her autograph were in line. Next thing you know, at 11 o'clock when they opened the regular doors, her line and Charlie Cox's line was all the way to the very back going out of the entrance into the convention center.
Hmm.
I walked around, and in the video I announced this too. I walked around for about an hour. Once I got her autograph and stuff, I walked around for about an hour, came back about 2 hours later. She still had a line to the door, and Charlie Cox probably only had about 15 or 20 people. So she was definitely the biggest draw for the day, in my opinion.
Right. Well, they said she hasn't done a signing outside of California in 5 years, Mike. So people that wanted her, that's why I told you, you might as well, don't toss it around. You might as well get 2 autographs, because who knows if you'll ever have a chance again. You know what I mean? So you might as well do it. That's why I said just do it. Monster B said only horror fans appreciate an autograph with a woman vomiting.
Yeah, and another thing, I've heard a lot of people talk about what an asshole she is and a bitch, and
yeah.
Now I will say this: I always ask now, hey, can I video while they are? I just want them to video. I want a video while they're signing.
Right.
So that way I have proof that they signed it.
Yep.
So the RIP person there, he was a really cool guy. He checked our shirts out, and he was like, "Man, what's that Real Dead?" And he said, "Man, that's a cool shirt." And we talked a little bit. And he used to do a bunch of dragon conventions. What do you call them? Dungeon? I don't know, whatever they call it, dragon conventions or whatever. Dragon Con or something. But we talked for a little while. So he went up to the handler and said, "Hey, I got somebody wanting to know, can they video while they're autographing?" And her handler was a male, probably about 60 years old, where his daughter was about 40. She was helping too. And she said, "I'm glad you asked that question, because she does not want anybody videoing her at all, even walking by the table or taking pictures walking by the table." She says, "I will be more than happy to take your camera and take pictures of her signing for you, and then also take your selfie as well." So she did do that for us.
That's good. At least that's good.
Yeah. But there was people trying to walk by and take videos and photos of her while she was doing some other things. And they would, tell them, "No, you can't stop and do that." But when I got up to her, I told her, I said, "Thank you for all your work." I said, "Also, thank you for what you're doing." Because 100% of what she did on this convention went towards her pet organization.
Right.
It's so 100% of the everything went to it. So I told her, I said, "Thank you for what you're doing for the our fur family." I said, "The last 3 dogs we've adopted them." And she said, "Oh, that's so awesome." And I said, "I know you were hit hard with the wildfires." And I said, "I'm from North Carolina." She said, "Oh yeah, the floods in North Carolina." She said, "That's awful what about the animals." And she was just really nice. And she said, "Thank you for introducing your son to The Exorcist." And I said, "Yeah, that's one of the first movies that really scared me when I was a kid." And she said, "Well, thank you for introducing him to that movie." And she said, "Let's get a selfie." So I went back there, and she said, "Well, I'm going to get in the middle." And she told Anthony, "Get on the right," and I got on the left, and we took the pictures. But she was really nice. I mean, she was
Good.
not a bitch at all. Now I was the third person in line. Maybe a couple hours later she turned that way, but she was really nice.
Yeah. So Scratch and Slash Media said, "It's not just there. Every con I've gone to has celebs late or not at their tables on time. It's very frustrating when you have a VIP and no one at their tables." Yeah. I mean, that's right, Scratch. Scratch and Slash said, "She's still cheaper than William Shatner." Okay, well, William Shatner. I mean, I wonder if people get William Shatner's autograph on a Michael Myers mask just because it's his face. I don't know. People might do that. I have no idea. But Old Russell said, "Very cool." Yeah, I'm glad that encounter went really well for you, Mike. I was happy to hear that because, like you said, I heard the same thing.
She did not. She did not price. Now, the very first guy in line was a consigner, and he had all these. I mean, he had these posters out there, and he had the like blue tape, painter's tape, marked out on the plastic of it, and said, "Okay, I want you to sign this color in this spot."
Right.
And he was very organized, and she done his really quick. She was listening to exactly what he was saying, and then a person in front of me was in a wheelchair, and they, instead of moving them back to the back of the line, they had to RIP. So I told them to go ahead and get in front of me. So actually, I was number 4 when it was all said and done, because I wanted them to be able to go and not have to wait there for so long. But she was just really nice. Her people that worked for her were nice. It was a more pleasant experience. She did not upcharge on anything. So I had 2 Funko Pops, and I'd heard in the past that she charged more for the larger Funkos, less for the small ones. She asked us up front, "Do you want me to put your name on it or not?" She wrote on one of them, "Sweet Dreams," and the other one she wrote something else. What did she write? Let me look at it. I'll give you guys a glimpse of this one. It says, "With wishes of sweet dreams," and she signed this one as well. So on this bigger one, she wrote that. On the other one, she just put "Sweet Dreams" and she put Linda Blair. And I did.
Mike, aren't you glad that you pulled the trigger and did both? Honestly.
Yeah, but she didn't write Reagan on this. Damn it! I should ask her to write Reagan on it.
Neither of them have Reagan.
I just realized no. I wanted her to write Reagan on it.
That's one thing you wanted. You probably didn't think of it, man.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous and everything else, but yeah, I did want her to write Reagan on them. But
so
I'm fine. I'm fine with it. If I ever go back, I'll just have her write Reagan on it.
Monster B said, "Was the crowd a lot better Saturday?"
It was better, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think this con did very well. Now, it could have been because Days of the Dead was a couple weeks ago here in Atlanta, and Mad Monster was just a couple weeks ago up in North Carolina.
I saw a lot of people like on that page. They're complaining. They're like, "Oh, bring this celebrity to North Carolina, blah blah blah." But like you said that, I think it would think Atlanta's a bigger market than North Carolina.
Well, let me tell you this. I talked to a gentleman, and he may watch us later on, but Dots Adventures.
Yeah.
He does a lot of cons and horror conventions and stuff. I talked to him when we went into the Nick Castle and PJ Souls panel. He sat in front of him and we talked a little bit, and I asked him, I said, "Did you go to Charlotte?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what's the crowd like in Charlotte compared to here?" He says, "It was a lot more in Charlotte." Wow. He said, this has more stars here than Charlotte did. He said, but the crowd was bigger in Charlotte.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When you think about North Carolina's Atlanta's too, it's a huge city, but North Carolina is kind of the center of the East Coast. I mean, between New York and Florida, it's kind of in the middle, but yeah, I mean, maybe the economy and stuff is really, shutting things down a little bit compared to that, but I was shocked.
Scratch and Slash said, "People get his autograph on the Michael Myers mask." I thought maybe they would. He said, "Saw it in Huntsville. The one I saw do it, it made him giggle." So, yeah. So people do that. Monster B said, "Monster Palooza on Saturday is always packed. You guys should check it out." Well, we went to Monster Mania, and that was packed on Saturday, wasn't it, Mike? In Baltimore.
Yeah, I did talk to somebody else there's a lot of people from North Carolina that drove down, but I talked to another couple that were in front of me that had the Reagan trick or treat mask.
Yeah, I saw people that had that.
And they had her sign it. And they were from Wilmington, North Carolina, and they go to Mad Monster a lot up in Charlotte, but they came to this one too. But they were telling me that they went to was it Scarefest in Lexington, Kentucky? they said that was unbelievable. That's definitely a once a life thing. If they said it was just incredible to go to that one.
Yeah,
They were,
that's why I told you, Mike. I said we need to look into going to one of those at one time.
but they were saying their autographs sell out sometimes within an hour. Like the whole day, all day. You can't just show up and get autographs for some people because they do it online, and within an hour, the whole day is sold out already.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. So I thought we should look into that at some point because that's a huge, I think was it last year or was it this year? They have all the people that played Friday the 13th with Jason, a ton of them. It was crazy. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry you didn't get Reagan on there, Mike. I know you wanted that. You actually told me that, I think 2 weeks ago when you were looking at him. You want Reagan, but I know you were nervous. I've done that too, man. I forget to tell him what I want or what color. Hey, we have 14 people in here, Mike, right now.
Nice.
But yeah, so yeah.
So after Linda Blair, I kind of walked around. I did video some vendors. They had some really cool stuff from the vendors. One guy had a huge NECA area where he had trick or treat stuff and NECA stuff. I saw a guy that did some custom carving and some really cool stuff. I liked his stuff as well. Guess what, though? This is one of the crazy. This just shows you what a small world it is. So I had four items authenticated at the monster table, Mad Monster table.
Oh yeah, talk about that a little bit after that, Mike. After you get done talking about this part.
Okay. So yeah, so I went up there and was talking to the guy, and he was a really cool guy, real nice guy. And he said, I got 4 items here, and he said, yeah, I just moved to the East Coast from California. And I said, well, where'd you move to? And I thought he was going to say Atlanta. He goes, North Carolina. I said, really? I said, well, where at North Carolina? And he said, Clemens, North Carolina. That's 10 minutes from where I live.
Wow.
I said, no way. I said, you moved from California here and you're down here. He said, yeah, I've been with Mad Monster since the very first expo. And he authenticates all their stuff for them. But yeah, I gave him a Real Dead sticker. And he said he was going to try to sub to us and maybe connect a little bit. He was telling about the area I live in now and how much he liked it. And him and his wife and his elderly parents moved from California to North Carolina. So that's really cool.
I see. So this is the first con that you've gotten stuff authenticated, right, Mike?
Yeah. So at this particular con, I just figured this out because I asked this guy about it. So Sean Clark's company, I think it's called Collectors something. I can't remember the full name. All Stars Collectors, Collection All Stars or something. So I noticed when I got Tom Atkins yesterday, 2 of his items, they had for $10, you could have each one authenticated. And
that's cheap. That's
for $10. Cheap. Yeah, I mean, I know it's not Beckett and I know it's not JSA, but it was only $10. And I was like, okay, I'll do it. And she put the hologram. She asked me where on the item I wanted it put, and I showed it. I showed her where I wanted it, so she put the hologram on it, and she took my money, and she put it, in a separate baggie, I guess, to go to Sean or turn in later. So when I went to the Mad Monster booth, I thought that was a Mad Monster out there, and the guy says no. He says some of these people have their own authenticators. So that was new to me. I'd never heard of that. So I guess all of Sean's, because I noticed on all the ones for his customers or his tables, they had that $10 piece of paper there right beside where the cost was to get an autograph or a selfie. So when I went to the Mad Monster guy, I told him that, hey, I got 2 Linda Blair items and 2 Nick Castle items. And he said, oh, yeah, it's just $10 a piece. And let me show you guys what they do. I can't show you up close, but they get all this information right here. I mean, they got the certificate number, the name of the signer, if it was a paint marker or not, what color the paint marker was.
Wow.
The location they put the sticker at, the location of the autograph.
How long does this take, Mike?
It took him 10 to 15 minutes to do 4 items. And
So
they
this-
log.
So this is worth it to get done. It's something that maybe I should do in the future, huh?
Well, I mean, if you don't have JSA there in Beckett, I mean, I got the video for these people, and I didn't have the video for Linda Blair, so I wanted them to authenticate it. I do have pictures of it, but at least, I mean, for $10 and knowing I spent $200 on the 2 items in the selfie, for 20 more bucks, it protected 2 items for me.
Right.
You know, so to me, it was worth that.
Old Restless said convention all-stars, Mike.
Yes. Yes. It says CAS on it.
Scratch and Slash says, I didn't know you. Oh, wait. He says, I didn't know you live in North Carolina. I lived in Wilmington for 3 months just to do movie filming locations for the channel. It's such a great state.
Yeah, I want to get down there. Actually, in April, the Michael Myers House company is going down and doing a Halloween 2018 filming locations down there. So my wife's in here now. She may call me out for that. But if I don't have a job by then, I might try to go down there that week.
Yeah, you should. Why not? I mean, hey, Mike, we got 15 people in here now.
All right.
Monster B said, that's worth it to me. It is me. I don't know why I've never done it. I should do it. I really have never done it for any of the cons. I mean, I had the pictures and stuff, but I've never got anything authenticated from cons. But I think from here on out, I think for if it is $10, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to, it's just worth it. I feel like.
Well, I've never done it either, but for some of the items I have and what the dollar value on them is now.
Yep.
And how much I paid for the autographs, I might as well spend the $10 and get it authenticated.
So did you want to talk about this other item that you have been wanting for, I mean, since Baltimore Monster Con?
Yeah, my wife's in here now. Thanks a lot for that, Josh. So she didn't know about this. Michelle, I did this for Anthony, I promise you. Oh God. So yeah, honey, if you notice extra money out of the checking account, that's what it's for. So I went and got PJ Souls' autograph also. So she was great. She only charged $40 and you got a free selfie with it. So she signed in orange the 12-inch figure, which was great.
It looks really good, Mike. I think the orange looks better than the white. I seriously do.
I did too, and I didn't think it would, but it did. It pops.
Yeah.
So a year ago, we went to Mad Monster. I think it's the same one you guys were.
We went Monster Mania in Baltimore, I think it was, wasn't it?
No, it was a Mad Monster in Charlotte because I got his regular autograph.
Oh, you're right. It was when the twins were there. Yep, you're right.
Michelle says, you know how closely I watch our account.
Oh, man. Watchdog.
Watchdog.
Yeah.
So Bill Johnson, Texas Chainsaw Massacre #2. When I got his autograph in Concord last year, and you guys were there, and we had to leave early on that Saturday because Anthony wasn't feeling well and had to go home.
Yeah.
I was debating on that Friday night. He has and I think Johnny Horror was saying last night he's seen it before.
Yes.
He has a photo with R.A., Gunnar Hansen, and Bill Johnson on the same photo.
And so Bill Johnson's from the second one. R.A. played Leatherface in the third movie, which I think's underrated. I don't think it's that bad of a movie. And then Gunnar played the original Leatherface, which is kind of a grail for you. You've been wanting his autograph for a long time, Mike. So
yeah. I've been wanting it for a long time. And I've been looking on eBay and Pristine Auction and some of these places, seeing if I saw something came up that I could bid on. And most of the time they're asking for $250 and higher. I've seen $400, $500, $600.
I mean, his autograph's not going to be going down. I mean, that thing's only going to raise in value.
So I went yesterday and saw it, and he said, I only got a couple left. And so I said, I'm going to think on this again. So this morning, when I first walked through, he had a line of about 6 or 7 people. And I was like, well, I'm going to wait for it to clear out. So later, after I did the panel with Nick Castle and PJ Souls, which I audio recorded that, they wouldn't allow you to video it, so we'll upload the podcast for that. I went out to this table. There was only one other person there. So I looked at it and I said, "Can I look at that a little bit closer?" And he handed it to me and I looked at it real close, and you can tell it's a real autograph. It's not copied, and that's what I wanted to make sure. I also wanted to see what it was numbered. It was numbered 106 out of 500. So the guy moved on, and I asked Bill Johnson, I said, "Before I buy this," and I said, "I've still been thinking about this. Can you give me a backstory on this?" I said, "It says something of 500. I said, "Does that mean each one of you got 500 each, or was there 500 total?" And I said, "I hope that's the way it was." He said, "Yes." I said, "Well, give me the story on it. Can you give me the story on it?" He said, "Yeah." He said him, RA, and Gunner were at the 30th anniversary, and he told me the place it was. I can't remember it, for the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So that was basically 20 years ago.
Right.
And he said there was a professional photographer there, and they took 10 or 12 photos. They all agreed on this one photo is the one they wanted to go with. So they printed off 500 copies at the convention. All three of them signed it at the convention together. And then they divided up the 500 amongst the three of them. And he said, "That's it. There's no more of them." And so when I bought that, I ended up buying it. And I asked him, I said, because he normally charged, I think he charged like 60 for a selfie, or like a combo. It was like an autograph and then a selfie is like 80, like 20 more for. So I asked him, I said, "Listen, if I buy this, can I get a selfie with you thrown in with it, and with this picture here, to show that I did get it from you?" And he's, "Oh yeah, man, that's great." So I bought it for $250. It's got Gunner, him, and RA's autograph on it, and then also he gave me the guy took 2 or 3 selfie shots with us in the photo. So that's how that one is. And also, I want to say this: when I saw him in Concord last year, he didn't say a whole lot to us, and
No,
he kind of acted like he didn't feel good, and I was kind of concerned about his health. He was very lively, joking, cutting around. I saw him at breakfast this morning. So evidently he feels a lot better. I don't know what he had going on a year ago, but he was an all right guy. He was a lot better than he was in Concord last year.
Well, it probably helped that you handed him $250.
That would make me lively.
Hey, Monster B said, "Wow, holy grail." And that's no lie, Mike. That is. I mean, you have a lot of awesome stuff from this weekend, but probably that might be the coolest thing, Mike. Just having Gunnar Hansen's autograph. There's no more of those, Mike. There's no more Gunnar Hansen. I mean, there's not going to be any more than there already is of Gunnar Hansen autographs.
I'm going to have to move some of this stuff out of my gun safe and move some of this stuff into my gun safe, because it's a fire and a regular safe, man. Because if something ever happened to my house, I'm in trouble now.
Yeah, Old Ressa said, "Pretty interesting." Yeah, it is an interesting story. Mike Collins says, "Congrats, Mike. I spoke with you on Friday and Saturday, and you seemed on the edge of buying the autograph each day." Well, he was like that in Concord, too. And then he kicked himself for a long time for not getting it, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, good to see you in here, Mike. So I met Mike and his mother, Betty, and they're near here in Atlanta. And every time we turn around, we run into each other. But Mike was really fun to talk to, and he had an awesome piece that he had signed from Jeffrey Combs, and he also had gotten some other awesome stuff as well. And Mike helped me keep up with this weekend, like who's there and who's not there. Because I'd run into Mike, and I was like, "Well, is so and so here or so and so here?" And so yeah, it's great meeting people at these conventions that have watched our stuff. And Mike's a really cool dude, and he's got a cool mother that comes to conventions with him. So that was really cool too.
That's awesome. Johnny Horror's here. He said, "Sorry I'm late." Hey, Johnny, no excuses, bro. Right, Mike?
Yeah, we'll dock you pay on that one, man.
Hey, so listen, I do want to talk to you about the RIP pass. Did you think that you needed it this time? But then what did you think was the RIP room? Was it nice to be in though?
Yeah.
Like, did you enjoy it? I mean, but did you think overall that you needed the Rip Pass?
I spent a total of 10 minutes in the Rip Room.
Oh,
Today Anthony's got a foot problem going on, so he wanted to come back to the room today. So I went in there and got a water and some peanut butter nabs or something, so I get cookies or something, and stayed in there 10 minutes. It is a nice room. They had plenty of food. And the problem I have with it is it's not close to the main
is it
room.
the
Whereas
same? Is it the same when I was there? You think was it down the hall and then you have to go down another hallway? Yeah, that's where it
yeah,
was last time. It's a big room though.
it is big.
They have a movie playing today when you were in there?
They did, but I wasn't paying attention to
Oh,
it.
see, when we were in there, I remember me and Michelle, because we just wanted to chill in the air, because the air just seems cold in there to me. It just seems nice and cool in there. And so
Yeah,
we wanted to chill in there, and they were playing Scream 2. We watched probably 20 minutes of the movie in there. It was nice. And they got the ice cold waters in there. We would go in there before we came back up to the room. We'd go in there and grab a water each and then bring it back up to the room. We would do that or grab a couple snacks, bring them to the room, Mike. I mean, I think, listen, I know you said you didn't need to Rip Pass, but I think,
yeah, it helped me today for Linda Blair because I would
right,
have
it
been
did
standing
help.
in
It did
line
help
a
you
long
today.
time.
Right. So let me read some of these right here.
They also allowed Anthony, just a heads up, if you have a child or somebody that's under 18 is what they told me. If you have a child that's under 18, you don't have to buy them the Rip Pass too. So you can buy a regular pass for them.
The Shriek Pass that you bought him.
Right. And he can piggyback with you into the Rip Lounge. So
If he's under 18.
Right.
Hey, Mike Collins says, happy to help, Mike. Johnny Horror said, I was watching Heretic, a movie. I enjoyed that movie, actually. Scratch and Slash said, everyone booed Johnny for being late. Ventures Ahead said, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Hey, thank you, Ventures Ahead, our moderator. Scratch and Sniff, that's what Johnny said. Wait, Michelle said we watched a whole movie. No, Michelle, we probably I know that you're probably floating in the clouds right now, Michelle, but seriously, we only probably watched about 20-25 minutes of it.
Let me go get something to drink real quick. I got a tickle.
Okay. Michelle said, I like the cookies there. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we liked that they had ice cold water and stuff. I mean, the Rip Room was really nice to have. And with the Scream, when we went there in Atlanta for the Screamcast, I thought, and for me, it was worth it just because I got to get all the Scream people before the place even opened to the public. And that was worth it to me. Now, if I go to a convention, like you said, like where there's some bigger stars and they're going to be popular, I would still consider getting the Rip Pass, Mike. Honestly, I would. Or another VIP at someplace else.
So I did buy these raffle tickets, and unfortunately, I did not win. But for $5, you got 3 tickets, and you could buy like $20, you get 20 tickets. They had this guitar. A guitar that had every person that was at the con autograph it as a donation for a local 501c organization.
Okay. Did Ron Perlman sign it, or was he at breakfast?
Yeah, I don't know about that dude, man. The guy may be a nice guy, and I love his work.
I do too. I really do, man.
But I don't think I would pay to get his autograph, man. Unless
I did. I'm good though. One and done with him though. I got to Chase Hellboy signed, which I really wanted it, and it looks great. I love it. And I'm glad
look what Johnny Horror said about that.
He said for Monster Mania, which we've gone to a Monster Mania and think about going to one again in Baltimore. Their VIP is only for the ticket holder. No one else in the family can go with them. Sucks. Wow. So Mad Monster, who knows? They might tighten that up, Mike. I don't know. But as of now, Mad Monster is a little more lenient. Now, listen, people were on that the Unmind Monster page. I saw some people saying Mad Monster's gone downhill. Is that true, Mike? Has it gone downhill?
You and I are going to disagree on this, Josh, because I'm old school, man, and this is called a horror convention. So I want horror people there. I don't want Charlie Cox there. I don't care about Charlie Cox. I know a lot of people do, but I want horror people there. So it looks like Mad Monster to me. And I talked to a couple other people that were Mad Monster fans, and they were concerned that they're going more towards a pop culture type event overall. And that's my concern with it. I get the money is in the Walter Goggins and is in the Charlie Coxes.
Walter Goggins had the most incredible line I've ever seen in my entire life.
But I would never get his autograph. I mean, I know you did, or you.
No,
would.
I didn't.
But he's not horror for me. So
right.
If you're gonna,
what do you mean? He was in 2010 Predators.
Okay.
So, well,
but what I'm saying is, like, now if you got a Galaxy Con where it is a pop culture event and you got all genres in there, I get that.
Right. But like the next con that me and Michelle are going to is a Comic Con, but it happens to have horror people there. So it's not a straight up horror con. Now, is Mad Monster, does it say this is strictly a horror convention? Does it say that?
I don't think it says either way what it is, but everybody knows it started out that way because the guy that founded it was, I mean, that's why the whole character of Mad Monsters is a horror person, was the brothers' love for horror movies.
So Johnny Horror and Monster B both agree with you. So, but like if they can get someone in there that's going to bring a crowd in, that's not necessarily horror. I mean, why wouldn't they do that though, Mike?
It doesn't help me out. It may help them out. It doesn't help me out.
I mean, you should have saw the people that were in line for Walton Goggins, dude. It was incredible. And it was all day and all night. The same line, dude. It was insane. And all those people had to buy a ticket, Mike. That's what they were banking on.
So Old Restless brings up a point. Now, I've went to a comic book convention before, and then when I went to the first horror convention, I was blown away. Number one, with how nice the horror crowd is. Very nice, very personable. I mean, you stand in line with somebody, and next thing you know me, I'll tell my life story in a heartbeat. Yep. I'm sitting here talking to somebody from Wilmington. I'm talking to somebody from Atlanta. But we all have something in common.
Horror.
I've went to comic book conventions, and they won't even, nobody give you time of day.
So Johnny Horror said, same goes with anime and wrestlers. Give them their own cons unless they crossed over to horror. Okay. I mean, do you mind there being like two wrestlers? Oh, did you see Scott Steiner today, by the way?
I didn't see him anywhere.
Really? Okay. I mean, do you mind if there was one or two wrestlers at the convention? Did that bother you?
One or two is not bad, but when you add one or two of them and then you add 3 or 4 more pop culture people, then next thing you know, you got 5, 6, 7 people that's not even part of the horror genre.
So I think New Jersey Horror Con had the Nerds cast. How is that horror? Yeah. And that's a lot of guests, not just one, like Charlie Cox or Charlie Cox. I don't know who else was there that was non-horror, Mike, besides the wrestlers.
Well, the major guy was supposed to be there, and he never showed up.
Oh, yeah. It just said he will not be attending. It didn't even give a reason. Mike, we have 19 people here. I think the most people we've ever had in a live show at this point.
Nice.
Yeah, you said Old Restless. You already read that one. Scratch and Slash said, it's becoming what makes money for the con other than the theme. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. If you were running one of these, Mike, and you couldn't get the big guests in the way that you thought you could, you're going to reach outside of it. That's how I feel. If you were in their shoes, you would probably do the same thing. And they probably, I mean, because they added Linda Blair so late, Mike, they probably didn't know that she was a guarantee. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the concern is like if you got like somebody like a Tobin Bell or somebody like
Tom
that,
Atkins.
But Tobin Bell's canceled like several conventions we have booked in advance.
Right.
I mean, if you get some big names, 1 or 2 of them canceled at the last minute, what are you going to do? I guess that's why they try to bring some other people in.
Well, like the one you were thinking about going to, the one down there, Carolina Fear Fest, they had I think you said their top guy, which is Kane Hodder, he's canceled. So now they're you think they're scrambling to try to get a bigger name in there, right?
Listen to Johnny Horror. Yeah. Yeah. That Carolina Fear Fest last year was really cool. And this year, I mean, Nancy Loomis is going to be there. So I got to go down there and if I get back from Alaska on that cruise, I got to figure out a way if I can drive an hour and a half down, get her autograph and come back.
Johnny Horror says, what number chalice, Mike? Come on now, give it up. I think you should just tell him. Number 5, guys.
So yeah, in GalaxyCon in Raleigh, North Carolina, the Terrifier team is going to be there. So I'm going to try. That's a regular pop culture event, and I'm going to try to go to that and get the Terrifier cast on something.
Yep. Oh, Johnny Horror said, "Damn, congrats." Yeah, Mike. I mean, you got to still be kind of buzzing on that one a little bit, don't you? Like having a number 5. I mean,
I can't take my eyes off of it. I'm looking at it right now.
Well, go get it. Let's show it off a little bit. Come on now, Mike. You don't mind flexing on your other channel. Go ahead and flex on this one. Get zoom in on that. Wow, Mike. Number 5, guys. That's pretty crazy.
And then there's the authentication I was telling you about, like with
I like the placement.
Yeah, I have put it on the back, and kind of, you know.
But I wanted to tell you, Mike, real quick. I did pre-order that Scream Factory Night of the Creeps with the figure today. I did it. Now, I told him what he could do with this one is get some, you could get Dick Warlock to sign that, Mike, and the girl, because they're both going to be there.
Yeah, on this one, I had it authenticated on the back.
Okay, I definitely would have other cast members sign that as well, Mike. Mike.
Yeah, Collins, that's why I did that one.
Mike Collins says, "Be prepared. David Howard Thornton lines are ridiculous." Okay, Mike. So that might be you might need a VIP for that one too. Maybe, who knows?
So Johnny Horror, I do want to let you know when I was in line to have Mad Monster authenticate a couple items, there was another consigner there. And we were talking back and forth, and I said something about Johnny Horror. I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I'm a consigner. And I said, yeah. I said, Johnny Horror, have you ever heard of him? He's like, oh, yeah, I've heard of Johnny. So you got a reputation out there, Johnny.
Did he say, man, Johnny Horror's a real jerk? Did he say that, Mike?
He said, that damn Northerner. No, he didn't
Johnny Horror said, I'll trade you 10 alien NECAs for that, Mike.
Hey,
said, that's a great piece, Mike. It is.
We'll get you one of these Real Dead hats there, Johnny.
Yeah, yep. You'll be wearing that. Scratch and Slash said, I see the Terrifier cast at every con. It would feel abnormal if I didn't see them or Felicia Rose 3 or 4 times a year. See, I've never been at a con with any of those people. Well, no, that's not true. We've been at a con with Laura Rivera and Elliot, but that's it, right? Just those people?
Yeah, Lauren Lavera and Elliot. I've been to 2 cons with both of them.
You also been to a con with Little Pale Girl, but I don't think I have.
Yeah, Carolina Fear Fest. She was at that one.
Right, and you said I think David Arquette was the main guy last year at Carolina Fear Fest, right?
Also, Selfie Guy. Selfie Guy was there.
Oh, okay. So Carolina Fear Fest, like you said, Loomis is going to be there. I think you need her. You really want her autograph.
And she could sign that one as well.
Right, that one, and then that little figure. The little figure,
in Halloween.
And then that
she was in Halloween 3.
Yeah, she was in Halloween 3. She was in so you could have her sign that. Man, you'd have her actually sign what 3 items? The Halloween 3, the tall Michael Myers, and then that little figure. But I don't imagine her autograph's going to be like a ton of money, Mike. Honestly, I mean, what's PJ Soul's charge though?
It was $40 and a free selfie.
Right. Like you can get 3 autographs for $120. So that's not that bad. Not really.
So Johnny, yeah, I told the people earlier, early in the show that we got in line at 10:30 and it was probably about 11:40, 11:45 before she showed up.
Wait a minute. So, he's got to go back and watch the replay. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And she was actually really nice. I heard all these horror stories about her. Now, her team, I asked in advance if I could video her autographing the 2 items I had signed, and they said no. They said, they said that she doesn't allow photos, self photos, or video of anybody even walking by our table. Her handlers told me that in advance, but they did tell me, they said, listen, if you give me your phone, I'll take a bunch of pictures of her signing your stuff for you, either with you right there with her or just her alone. You tell me what you want. So they were nice about that. She did have, and I had never seen this before, she had her own selfie light, her own halo light.
Oh,
so the girl would stick the photo through the halo light to take pictures of her, I guess, to have better lighting.
Remember Jamie Kennedy had like a selfie light on it. He'd like hook it to his phone or to your phone. Remember, did he do that with you?
No, he didn't do that with me. No.
Oh,
remember, I just paid for his autograph. I didn't get a selfie with him.
Oh, see, in Atlanta, when I got his autograph, he hooked some big freaking device to my phone, like a big light, and took a bunch of pictures. So, yeah.
So she was great, and I mean, it wasn't cheap. It was $80 for an autograph, $120 for a combo. So it cost $200 to get 2 autographs and a selfie. And that's the most I've ever. I think the most I've ever paid before that was Matthew Lillard was $80.
I think Matthew Lillard was my most expensive too, for a selfie and selfie and an autograph combo was $120. I think that's the most I've paid.
So there's somebody in here now.
Carl Weathers was $80 for an autograph, but he didn't do table selfies, so who knows how much it would have been. But I think the most I spent was on Matthew Lillard too. I think you're right.
So JoJo Rice is in here, and they said, I went today and I had a great time. So JoJo Rice, I'm curious, because I went in and out throughout the day. Most of my autographs were already done for the day, but did you have to wait for a long time in line? And who was the main person you were trying to get? And give us a little bit of information about that, because I had the RIP pass, and I only needed 2 autographs, and I was out of there.
So Scratch and Slash said, Jamie Kennedy is amazing to meet. Made me tear up at his table how far he went to make sure I got everything I wanted from him. I thought Jamie Kennedy was okay. He was a little different, I guess. I mean, he was fine. I didn't think – to me, Nev was incredible. Like, out of that group. And Ansky Ulrich, he really took time with me and my wife. Even though my wife didn't pay for anything, like a selfie or anything, he took one with her, and he made me and her feel like special. Like he was just a really cool guy. And Nev was the sweetheart. Like, probably I'd say Nev was probably like one of the nicest celebrities I met. You know who's also really nice? I can't remember his name right now, but the guy from Chucky, dude, the guy that was the kid in the Chucky movies, he was super nice too, in my opinion.
Is it some Vincent?
Alex Vincent? Is that his name? Oh, he was great too. So Mike K says, I went to Days of the Dead a couple weeks ago in Atlanta, dropped around $3,500 on autographs and pics. Were like 18 people from Terrifier. It was pretty awesome. Well, Mike, he beat you, didn't he?
that Terrifier, they kind of have like a little cult following anyway, but even them as actors are kind of like they got a, like when they do their like pro photo ops, I'm sure they're not splitting that money 18 ways, but man, like the whole, Selfie Guy's in there, who owns 13X Studios. He'll jump in there in the photo, and I'm sure only 4 or 5 of them are really making the money, but they don't care, man. They just party down, and they all jump in there. Damien Leone jumps in there, and then Laura and Elliot and David Howard Thornton, and they just look like they have a great time.
Right. So Cody Raines, cool name, by the way. I'm going tomorrow. I'm hoping to meet Shawnee Smith. Tell Cody about your Shawnee Smith interaction, Mike.
Yeah, Shawnee Smith. We had her sign yesterday a Trick or Treat Studios Billy the Puppet Mask, and when I got up to her, she does this with everybody, but when I got up to her, she's like, well, do you want me to sign this to somebody? We said, no. Can you just sign your name, and then like the character name would be great. Can you put it on the right side? And we told her what color to use. And but afterwards, she did the selfies, and she was hilarious. She took
Yeah.
my phone from me, and she was doing all these crazy shots, like like she's like doing this and this and this and this and all this, and she's just laughing and cutting up and having a good
Yeah.
time. And she took time with us. It wasn't like
Yep.
I saw somebody in front of us, two people in front of us, brought and gave her something that they had hand drawn.
Yeah.
And she took time with them. How long did it take you to do it? I really, you sure you want me to have this? I'll sign it and give it back to you. And they was like, no, I've made this for you. I want you to keep it. And she spends time with you. She's not just.
And it's funny when we met her at the con too. What con was that? Monster Mania.
Yeah.
Someone also gave her a painting, but it was big, and she's like, I can't. She was honest with them. She's like, I can't take this back with me, like in my suitcase. And she's like, how about I sign it for you and you keep it? And she said, okay. So she ended up doing that because it was just too big. She couldn't take it home, and she ended up signing the piece. And like you said, really spent some time. Even like she's comes across shy because she is, but that's okay, or introverted or whatever. But she was really cool to me and my wife. She would like look you and like ask me questions, and then she would look at Michelle, ask her questions, and it was just really cool. I always like it when people interact with Michelle too, because I'm the one getting the autograph, not Michelle, but she knows these people, most of them. So when I interact with her, she always kind of gets surprised by that. When the person takes extra time to interact with someone that's not even getting an autograph. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what's funny though is I heard about your experience with Shawnee Smith. So
yeah.
I prepped Anthony in advance. I said, Anthony, she may ask you what's your favorite movie, what's your favorite kill, what's your favorite blah blah. I said you need to know that stuff.
With us.
Guess what she did?
What?
She asked Anthony, which one's your favorite movie? Which one's your favorite kill? Anthony's like, I like them all.
So he was like this. I like your movies, like me.
He was like you and Nev Campbell. I like your movies a lot.
Oh yeah. So old Russell says Jamie Kennedy was very nice to me. Yeah, he was nice to me. Just a different kind of a dude. I mean, that's not a bad thing. Man, we have a bunch of comments here, Mike. I got to get to these.
Yeah, let's go through them.
Ventures Ahead said yes, he did. Yeah. Skeet was great with my daughter. Yeah, dude. Skeet was great with you and Anthony too, right?
Yeah, he told Anthony a story about how his first girl, he asked Anthony if he had a girlfriend. He said his first little girl he had a crush on.
Yeah.
He tried to get into a play, Romeo and Juliet, just to meet her.
Yep. Ventures Ahead also said Nev was awesome too. I liked Lee Waddell. Yeah, Lee Waddell was a hoot, man. If you listen, I know that he was under the costume of Ghostface in the first movie, and he doesn't charge a ton of money. I highly recommend you get Lee Waddell's autograph and meet him. And he takes a ton of selfies, and it's funny too.
He's a good guy. He spends a lot of time with you.
Yes. What is this? No Kid Turno said the most I've paid for auto was MJF. He was $280 per item. Holy crap!
That's Michael J. Fox. That's what you paid, wasn't it, for a Funko?
Yeah, I think I paid Michael J. Fox that high. Yep. So JoJo Rice said my longest wait was Linda Blair, about 30 minutes. However, that includes a 10-minute bathroom break that she took. The main signers I was focused on was Adrienne Barbeau, Tom Atkins, Nick Castle, and it doesn't say, and Rose McGowan.
Yeah, so I waited an hour and 10 minutes from 10:30 till 11:40, but she wasn't even there yet. So it sounds like JoJo came back in a little bit later on and things moved pretty quickly, which, I could see that because they don't let you video into all. I mean, it was kind of ran quickly, but she did spend some time with us, and her line was constant. That was for sure.
So M says, I was there today. Rose McGowan had a steady long line too. I'd say I waited 30 minutes for Linda Blair. Okay, yeah, that's good to hear that Rose McGowan had a steady line. She's one I have yet to meet.
Rose McGowan's awesome too. You know,
Yeah.
we met her at Concord last year, and
Right.
she was awesome.
She's one I have yet to meet yet. No, I don't think it was last year, Mike. That was the first con you went to. That was in
2023. I'm missing a whole year in there somehow.
Right. Jojo said, yeah, we waited about 20 minutes for Rose. Yeah, like I said, she's one I have yet to meet. Cody Rain says, love the channel. Maybe I can meet you at the con tomorrow. Well, no, you won't.
Yeah, we're actually leaving early in the morning so we can get back to North Carolina because it's about a 5-hour drive. So we'll probably leave in the morning about between 7 and 8 o'clock. Plus, you move the time hour is forward tonight, right?
Yeah. So M said, Jojo, they messed up putting Rose in the corner. That line was a problem. Did you see that, Mike, at all?
Well, they had Rose right beside Ron Perlman. And then you had, I think, Shawnee Smith beside them. And then beside Shawnee Smith was Linda Blair. And beside Linda Blair was Charlie Cox. So they had the longest lines available for Charlie Cox and Linda Blair. And that made sense for that.
Right.
But there's some people, like I said, that wasn't even in the main autograph room. You had Tyler Main and Bill Johnson and 3 or 4 other autographs people that were outside in the first area you came to.
Is that
not the main ballroom?
Oh, like where Jesse Ventura was that time?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So Monster B said, I thought it was the wrestler MJF. Now, I would think it'd be, I mean, maybe. I don't know if he'd charge $280. Maybe he does. Mike Collins says, I was in the same boat as Mike. I got in at 10:30 for RIP, but Rose McGowan didn't show up until 11:40.
They may have been eating breakfast together.
She was eating breakfast with Ron Perlman, yeah. Johnny Hoare said, I waited 5 hours for Rose on a Friday and Sunday. You could just walk up to her. Wow. So the longest I've ever waited, technically, and it's not because they had a long line, it's because they were really late. And it wasn't their fault. It was travel. And that was, Brad Lorre. Brad Lorre, who played Michael Myers. I went to a very small con, and I do mean very small. It only had, I think, 4 or 5 people signing there. And he was one of them. And he was one of the main guys why I wanted to go to this con, because he was a Michael Myers. And he was supposed to be there at 11 or noon or whenever. Well, we were waiting around and we're like, where is this guy? And then we heard news from a buddy of mine, because he was actually an agent there with some other people that were there. And he was like, hey man, I'm hearing that Brad Lorre, his plane was delayed or it's late, blah, blah, blah. And he's not going to be here till 2. And we're like, okay, we'll wait till 2. Well, 2 came around and he wasn't still there. And guess what I heard again? They said, he's not going to be here till 4 o'clock now. And we're like, well, we have about a 3-hour drive home. And like, it's, already so we're like, well, told Michelle, I said, if you don't mind, can we wait? Because he's the reason why I came here. I said, I'm willing to wait 2 more hours. We'll just sit down or go sit in the car or whatever. And so we did. And he was there. And man, I'll tell you, when he came in, he had his luggage right by the table, open, clothes out on the ground, basically. Like his suitcase was flung open with clothes. And he had like a bunch of stuff in there and he was trying to work it out. But Brad Lorre was excellent. I highly recommend you getting his autograph. Brad Lorre is friendly. He'll take some time with you. He'll tell you that Rob Zombie's Halloween suck. And even though his is bad, he will tell you that those suck. But yeah, great guy. Honestly, Mike, I highly recommend you meet him when you have the chance.
All so right. in the panel video, in the podcast that we'll upload, I don't want to say too much. And if you've watched a lot of Nick Castle stuff and PJ Soul stuff, you probably know the answers to these. But in the panel room, Nick Castle gives his thoughts on the Halloweens. He gives his thoughts on the Rob Zombie ones without saying Rob Zombie. He also gives his thoughts on his favorite horror movie of all time, and then also his most recent favorite horror movie.
Wow, and, I can't wait to hear that, Mike.
Yeah. But believe it or not, they're not horror fans. They're really not a horror fan. Scratch
and Slash said, what's the longest you guys have waited for an autograph? Well, mine's because the guy was late. But in a line, I would say, damn, probably Matthew Lillard, which wasn't even that long. I probably waited 20 minutes for him because we were in RIP. He said, I spent 4 hours for Lillard and 6 hours for Norman Reedus, dude. No way. Couldn't do it. I couldn't do that.
Well, we wanted the Grady twins' autograph, and we wouldn't wait for theirs. You remember?
No, because their line was huge. What's the longest you've waited, Mike, in a line for somebody?
Linda Blair today, 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Okay. Well, originally, remember you were going to have to wait a really long time for Matthew Lillard until you had your kid pass.
Yeah, Anthony's getting older now. I'm about to lose that get out of jail.
Well, he's got a full mustache, so people are going to be like, "Wait, how old's this kid?"
I'm still telling Anthony. Anthony's 10 years old. You know, Anthony, you're born in 2012. You know.
Hey, Old Russell says, "Was the Nick Castle panel the only one you attended?"
Yeah, they didn't have as many panels as they've had in the past. They had a new MC here. He had an English accent, British accent.
Oh, they didn't have that guy with the bow tie?
No, it's a new guy.
Man, Lance Hendrickson freaking teased him so much. It was funny as hell.
Yeah. So that's the only panel I went to. I heard Robert Patrick did a panel. I didn't go to that one. They didn't have a lot. They had one last night that I missed.
The first night you missed Atkins and Barbeau in the fog one. I thought you'd go to that.
Dude, I was trying to get every autograph I could get last night, so it'd make it easier today.
M says, longest line I waited was Robert England last year in Atlanta. Waited 4 hours, but worth it. Ventures Ahead says, oh, shoot. We stayed forever at that con. Yeah, the one it was so small, too. That one was dead where somebody was like, handing out pizzas and someone took a full one. Old Restless says, Robert England is a true legend. Yeah, I do want to meet him, dude. But man, I want to make sure to have a RIP pass or a VIP pass if I meet him, Mike. That's like a no-brainer. You got to work that into the price. Johnny said, I waited 8 to 9 hours for Kiefer Sutherland. Holy crap. No way. Michelle, you want to do that? Scratch and Slash says, God bless you, Johnny. Yeah, no way. Old Restless says, that's dedication. Jojo Rice says, I went to the Halloween panel as well. Also went to the Robert Patrick panel.
Yeah, I heard Robert Patrick was not a bad panel. He's the one that people were complaining about his selfie price yesterday. Remember?
He has no break. It's 80 for an autograph and 80 for a selfie. There's no break. That's just the cost.
I don't know what the price was. It was either like 50 and 50 or 80. I can't remember what it was.
No. I saw someone said 80 for a autograph, 80 for a selfie.
Yeah,
and there's no break.
That's crazy. No combo.
Hey man,
price.
If you don't want to pay, don't get it. That's how I feel about it. He wants to charge what he wants to charge, and I mean, people want his autograph on Terminator 2 stuff, dude. I mean, they're gonna pay it. They're not gonna.
I'm not gonna pay a selfie price for that.
Yeah, that's what someone said. They said. I
think Mike that was in here earlier. I think he got his autograph and said he was a great guy, really nice. Yeah, Mike. It was 80 and 80.
Yep.
Mike said there was no comment, but Mike said he was a really great guy. And
I bet, dude. I bet he is.
He got his autograph, but he wasn't going to pay the selfie, $80 for a selfie.
So I saw someone write in that group today, Mike. They said, I was there Friday and I got Rose McGowan, someone else, or maybe Tyler Main. And then I got Ron Perlman. He said Tyler Main was great. No. He said I got Atkins, Rose McGowan, and Ron Perlman's autographs. He goes, Atkins was great. Rose McGowan was a sweetheart. And, Ron Perlman was Ron Perlman. That's what he said in the comment. I was laughing, dude.
So yesterday, I forgot to mention this. When I got Tyler Main's autograph, I don't know if it was his wife, his girlfriend, his handler, whoever it was, but she was a lady with him. And when I said that, when he was signing it, I was like, man, that's awesome. And she's like, can I ask you a question? And I was like, sure. And she's like, are you from South Carolina? I said, are you from the Carolinas, or are you from South Carolina? I was like, no, I'm from the North. And she said, really? And I was like, yeah, North Carolina. She started dying laughing. She says, you're not close to Chapel Hill, are you? And I was like, actually, I'm a Tar Heel fan, and that's about an hour and a half away. She says, something about one of her girlfriends graduated at UNC Chapel Hill and lived there now. And she's like, your accent sounds very close to hers. But she was funny.
Old Restless said $80 for a selfie is nuts. That is pretty rich. Scratch and Slash said, even with VIFP, you have to wait for England. We've had 2 autos and had to basically go into a battle royal to get it. Wow. Johnny Horror said, Mike, why didn't Josh go to Mad Monster? Josh shush. Why
Josh
did I go, Mike?
Well, you tried to say the flights were too expensive, but I don't know why you couldn't have gotten your little Yugo and drove on down here.
Oh, shoot. Johnny Horror said, rip Ron Perlman. Because we're burying him tonight, Mike.
I mean, guys, he hasn't been mean to me. I mean,
no, he wasn't mean to me at all. He wasn't mean. Like, when I went up to him in Baltimore, there was a little line. I went up to him. I said, hey, man, he grabs the item. He actually grabbed some other color, a white. And I said, oh, can you sign that in red? He said, okay. Sign it in red. I said, dude, I just want to let you know I've enjoyed your stuff since I've been a kid. I've really enjoyed Blade 2. I told him a couple, Hellboy. And he was like, okay. And then he said, well, let's get a selfie now. I said, okay. So he came over, put his arm around me. He put his hand on my shoulder. And we got the selfie. And that's all he said to me was, now let's get a selfie. But he didn't say it like a jerk. He was nice about it. And his voice, he has like a real deep voice, And, but yeah, that's all he said. He didn't say thank you. And I was like, man, I really enjoy your work. No, he's like, no, let's get a selfie.
The dude got an elevator today, and I could have stood right by the elevator door and said, I'm sorry, Ron, you can't get in here. But I was nice enough to move back so he could get in. He didn't say thank you, kiss my ass, or anything.
Hey, Adventures Ahead said Josh wanted me to drive.
Josh, you treat your wife wrong, man. Michelle's the backbone of this channel and your channel.
She made the thumbnail for this tonight, so
she did a damn good job on it too.
I thought it looked good. Yeah, I thought the thumbnail looked really good. Old Wrestler says, Mike, did you see Eugene Clark? Was he dressed in his costume?
Yeah. Eugene.
I did see somebody comment on somewhere. It was either on our channel or on your post or something. And he said, I did go to Eugene Clark's table and his stuff was pretty expensive and I had to work a deal out with him, but I did end up buying something from him. That's what he said in the comment. And I was like, interesting. He worked on a deal. Remember that Funko Pops, those custom Funkos he was trying to sell for like $300?
$250, $300 for a custom. And they were cool looking, but I'm not paying $250, $300 for a Funko Pop with Eugene Clark. Shit, no.
M said, important to note that England carries on conversation with each person. He really takes his time and never rushes, which is cool. But eat your Wheaties before getting in line. Monster B said, when we pay our hard-earned cash, just pretend and put on a smile and your face not asking much. We might cut this off.
You got a hairball? You got a hairball or something?
My throat's getting dry. We might have to cut this off. So I have nothing to drink down here. Scratch and Slash said, true, England talks a lot and says things that can't be recorded.
So, yeah, I'll scroll down here. I'll try to talk a little bit more.
Johnny says, I'm going to steal Michelle away to produce my channel. She does run our Adventures Ahead channel, which is very successful, right, Mike? I don't know.
Dude, now she's even willing to bring you water down there, Josh. I mean, you can't.
Do I need to? Yes, bring me a tea, Michelle, will you? Yep. It's in there.
Hey, bring him a ham and cheese sandwich while you're at it.
I wish. I am kind of hungry, but I don't need to eat anything. Michelle's had a bunch of, snacks because of, Thanks, honey.
Yep.
Say hi real quick.
Oh, I don't have my hair done. Hi.
Yep, there she is. Oh, thanks, hon.
So overall, though, I will say this for this convention, and I got everything out of it I wanted to. I did spend quite a bit of money, but a lot of this stuff I won't have to get for down the road. And I got to meet some of Nick Castle's always been high on my bucket list. I finally got to knock that off. Tom Atkins, he's in his 80s now.
Now, would you get anything else signed from Nick Castle, though? That's the question.
Well, now I got 5 or 6 things now.
Well, you said that about Kane Hodder, and now you went back and said, maybe I could use his autograph on one more thing.
Yeah, I think on some of these things I would love to do some posters down the road, like authentic original posters, not reprint posters.
That would be awesome, Mike.
Going back to my old movie theater days when I worked in a theater, I'd love to have some of those posters and signed. So, and then I got the Gunnar Hansen. I mean, I can't really complain.
No. I mean, dude, you knocked a grail off. Gunnar Hansen, dude. That's a grail for a lot of people, Mike. Johnny Horror said, any other stories from the con, Mike? Who are you guys wanting to meet the most next? Well, Dick Warlock's top of the list for me, right, Mike?
Yeah, Dick Warlock, and I'd have to figure out what I'm going to get him to sign. That's I've got some NECA figures that I could get him to do, or a Funko Pop, or Dick Warlock. Dick Warlock's at the top of my list.
Yes.
I know she's been to a ton of conventions, and I've just missed the ones that she's been at. Felicia Rose is one at the top of my list.
Yeah.
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell and Dick Warlock are at the top of my list.
And David Howard Thornton and Damian Leone, I want to get theirs as well. I would love to get the Lost Boys signatures eventually. And
would you wait 9 hours in line for Kiefer Sutherland?
Oh God, I don't know. I may pay Anthony to stay in line for me for it.
Scratch and Splash said, meeting Warlock next month. Have to get him on Myers Pop. Yeah, I agree.
Where's he at next month?
Yeah, where's he at, Scratch and Splash?
There is a big convention up in Tennessee at the Smoky Mountain Terrors, or Smoky Terrors. And there's supposed to be some pretty big, some decent sized stars at that one too. I'd like to go to, but don't know if I'll be able to make that one or not.
Right. So yeah, is there anybody else on your list, Mike? I'm trying to think. Like Tobin Bell's big for me. Dick Warlock. I mean, if they ever did conventions, Courtney Cox would be pretty high for me just because of the Scream stuff. I'm trying to think of anybody from Scream. I mean,
so I still got my Friday the 13th sign that I want to get a lot of the Friday 13th people on.
Oh yeah. I'm trying to think who.
CJ Graham.
You need the guy from Part 5. Mike, you need the guy from Part 5 that got hit in the head with a bald spot. You need that.
CJ Graham. I want to get CJ Graham. I want to get Mears.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna meet. Hopefully, I'll be able to meet Derek Mears in a couple weeks. So I'm hoping to do that.
Listen to Mike down there. He got one in on me. Mike wants Parker Posey's from Mike's favorite Scream film.
Listen, though, I like Scream 3, and I do. And Parker Posey's actually a really good part of that movie. Mike.
That movie sucks, man. It's awful.
So Scratch and Slash said, Full Moon in Nashville, Mike. So it's in Nashville. We are also media guests at Smoky Mountain Terror. You should join us.
Yeah, and that's something on our channel we have not. We did do Carolina Fear Fest last year. I emailed them and they said they had closed it off earlier, but I could do it this year. But we need to start sending some of our stuff out to get that media pass to get in there. That's all.
Yeah, I think our videos. I mean, because we do decent with our videos.
Smoky Mountain. That's about a 3.5, 4 hour drive for us. So that's not that far. We go up to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg usually once a year, twice a year. And that one has really grown, but I think it's in a small venue, so I can't imagine.
Well, and Nashville's closer for me, Mike, too. I think it's only like an 8 hour drive, maybe. Mike, oh yeah, I would like to meet Parker Posey. Actually, I think she's actually really good as the character Gale Weathers in, as playing, that when she's that in the movie. Old Restless says, I need Matt, Skeet, and Nev for my Ghostface mask. Well, Old Restless, if you want to meet all three of them and they're to con, you're going to be waiting. Matt Lillard and Skeet Ulrich's lines now. Matt Lillard's line is incredible. We were just at the one in Baltimore. The door opened 3 minutes. The line, he had like over 100 people in line, didn't he, Mike? It was insane. And then those people just funnel right over to Skeet because they have them next door to each other, don't they, Mike?
Yeah, they ought to just have one line and let them go from back to back.
So Jojo Rice said, I need Courtney Cox and Drew Barrymore, dude, on a screen poster,
Ooh.
Mike. That's huge. Yep, he's right. That is it. That is one you need. Because that's got to be one of the most iconic kills, like, ever in a horror movie. Like, just that opening scene. I mean, that's so iconic. M said Warrington Gillette was here last year in Atlanta, last minute edition. Oh, okay. Yeah, Mike's met him. You liked him too, didn't you, Mike?
Yeah, Warrington Gillette was awesome. And, that's one of the scenes from my childhood that I remember watching with my whole family, and my sister threw up a whole bucket of popcorn when he came crashing through the window at the very end. And we still, as a family, joke about that with my sister. But he was really nice to us, signed my big sign. And then he also signed a NECA figure, and he signed it in white or silver, and then turned around and got a red marker and like made blood drops come down. I know there was a battle between him and the other gentleman that's passed away now with that movie, right. But Warrington Gillette, he was a really nice guy.
Yeah. So Scratch and Slash said, media passes are great. It has helped get interviews at tables, takes the pressure of filming off your shoulders.
That'd be awesome.
Yep. We do need to really look into that for sure. M says, same here. I love 2. He was a really cool guy. Yeah. I think Friday the 13th 2 is the best Friday the 13th movie. That's my opinion. I think number 6 and number 1, number 6 is probably number 2 for me. I can't remember we did a whole tier list, me and Mike and our friend Gregory, who's on our live shows. You'll see him if you check out our live. We're doing a live the 21st of this month, and it'll be Mike, me, Johnny Horror is supposed to come on. We invited him. He's coming on. And our buddy Gregory, who's always on our live shows with us. Not this one because, but when we do lists and tiers and stuff, he's on. But we're doing our top 10 favorite 80s horror movies. So tune in for that on the 21st if you like talking about horror movies and stuff from the 80s. Hey, Mike from Nebraska's here, Mike.
Hey, Mike. What's going on, man?
Oracle said, yeah, how do you guys get media passes? Well, we don't, but we want to.
Yeah, with Carolina Fear Fest, they had a email address you can email them, and I did it too late last year, and they said, hey, we'd love to have you guys next year. And hell, I think our video did better than their own videos down there. So, our channel is we've done better on conventions and probably NECA figures than we've done anything. And we're starting to find our own little groove in this, and and we're trying to do things a little different maybe than what other channels do. So, Josh and I both are ones that we're just going to tell you our honest opinion on something. So we're not going to sugarcoat nothing and kiss somebody's ass because that's just not how we are.
Right.
But there's so many of these conventions, and for me, I'm able to take my son with me, and that's the bond that him and I have. He don't play sports. I love sports. Our bond is horror movies. So we'll watch horror movies together. And I goofed up tonight as a parent. I thought I was going to go. He wanted to see Hard Eyes, and I picked the wrong damn theater. So when I got there, it wasn't even there. I was like, shit, Mike. But that's our bond. And that's the same bond I had with my mother when I was his age. My mother took me to see Friday 13th 3D in a drive-in theater, and that's kind of how that whole thing got started.
Yeah, Monster B said, yes, 21st, I'm in. Good, good. Scratch and Slash said, so the 21st, I'll be watching and judging.
So yeah, Johnny Horror asked earlier, and I don't know if he's still here or not, but and I know we've had a couple other people come in. One thing Linda Blair told me that I thought was really cool, and she didn't have to say this, was she said, thank you, was talking to me. She said, thank you for introducing your son to The Exorcist and to that movie. And she said she liked to hear that younger generations were watching it, you know, a movie that's 50 years old. And that
Johnny
movie,
Horror is still here, Mike.
okay. So Linda Blair did tell me that, and that, you know, we had a bond with the fur animals because we adopt our last animals have been adoption animals, and when she told me, she said, you know, thank you for, you know, introducing your son to The Exorcist. And Anthony told her, said it's one of my, you know, he said that movie and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Halloween are my 3 favorites, and that's kind of my 3 favorites too.
Mike, maybe we should do our lives later at night, man, because we've had a lot more success going later at night than going at 9 o'clock. Maybe we should do our lives at 10 from now on.
Well, this was a big convention too, though, Josh. So, but yeah, I mean, maybe there's some West Coast people. I think a lot of people are coming in here to hear about Mad Monster.
Yeah, so I wish I could have gone, honestly. I do. I mean, but it just didn't work. We tried to make it work, but yeah. So is there anything else you want to say about Mad Monster, Mike, or any of the guests, or maybe one that you thought about getting, but then you didn't?
No. I mean, there were some really cool vendors that we're going to have in our videos. I tried to do the whole Tampa J thing where you video the vendors a little more and show their card. So I did do that. So there'll be 4 or 5 vendors we show in there. There was some really cool stuff here. And that was what I really wanted to do a lot today was, you know, kind of walk around and get some video of the vendors and stuff. But yeah, that's about it. And, you know, we're going to get up early in the morning and head back to North Carolina. And then we got a ton of footage, and this should be one hell of a haul video. I can tell you that.
Are you going to try to get that haul video out tomorrow night, Mike, or no?
Damn, Josh, shit.
I'm just wondering.
He works me like a dog, man. He's like, Mike, when are you going to get that? We got to get 2 videos out this week. What you want to do? You want to film this one?
Well, listen, Sunday night 1 video, tour Monday night.
So then you're going to say, well, Mike, Wednesday we got to do the Toxic Avenger. You got to watch that again. Yeah,
well, I did. Hey, we are going to be doing this month a review of Toxic Avenger as well. I've already watched it. Mike's got to watch it again. But yeah, I mean, we will have a review this month of Toxic Avenger because that's what people voted on. Every month we're doing a classic movie, giving in our community tab, giving the opportunity of people to vote on a movie. I pick 2, Mike picks 2, and then we let the people vote on which movie for us to review. This month was Toxic Avenger, so we will be reviewing that. JoJo said we showed Linda Blair a picture of our rescue dog, and she loved it.
That's 2 thumbs up. That's awesome.
Johnny said, well, we're about to lose an hour right now. Oh, yeah, we are. Johnny said, damn, daylight savings. Yeah. Yeah. Michelle says, I can emphasize. Yeah, because my wife works nights. So that's 1 hour closer that she has to go to work now tomorrow night. Yeah, right. Spring forward. Yeah, Mike. I mean, we've been going an hour and a half, dude. This has been a good show, Mike.
Yep.
And so, Mike didn't want it Mike didn't want to do a live show. Now we've done 2. So
listen, I suggested you want to do it Sunday night. I said, well, hey, I'm sitting here in a hotel room. Let's go ahead and do it late at night. So we got these in.
Scratch and Slash says, don't remind me. I open in the morning. Mike, no, she said, no, I can emphasize with Mike. Emphasize. I don't know how to say that. You working him to get the videos done. But okay, yeah, that's gonna be one hell of an awesome haul, Mike. And are you gonna do it sitting at your table and show them one by one? I think that'd be the way to do it, in my opinion.
I've already videoed everything one item at a time now.
Oh, you did it? Okay.
Yep.
Old Russ said, great show, guys. Johnny Horse said, can't wait for the haul tomorrow, Mike. See, Old Russ is expecting it. He's laughing. So, okay. Well, we're going to get out of here. Thanks for everybody being here. I think we had our best live show tonight. 21 people at its height, Mike.
Hey, please like, comment, subscribe. We're thinking about down the road going back and doing another Facebook page group. Probably won't do it private, may do it public, but we got a lot of content coming out. Anything to do with horror, conventions, box openings, unboxings, NECA, Trick or Treat Studios, movie reviews.
And like I said, I have a smaller con coming up in it's not it's a Comic-Con, but it does have horror people there. So we'll be having some footage on that in probably, I'd say, less than a month. So that'll be coming out too.
Yeah, Mike Collins, it was great meeting you and your mother Betty.
And a safe trip home, Mike. Great meeting you.
Next time we come down, Mike, you're gonna have to take us out to a barbecue restaurant or something. Let us know where we go eat some good barbecue.
Johnny says Stacy Nilikin will be in Baltimore, guys. Who's that? Who's that, Johnny? The name's escaping me right now. Who is that?
Shit, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Who is that, Johnny?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, Halloween 3. Oh, that's the girl that was Atkins where he said, wait, how old are you? You definitely need her autograph, Mike.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, guys. We'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for everybody being here. Great live show. Bye.
All right, bye.